I never think through what I say when stuff starts filming, so it's really weird doing it in front of you. Hey folks, so today, I feel like I'm on a morning show. So I've been reading a hell of a lot of T Kingfisher books lately. I've been sent a lot of arcs. You will be seeing a vlog coming soon about me trying to finish off T Kingfisher's adult backlog. While I read those books, because there's 8 of them and that's going to take me a minute, I thought it'd be fun to talk about her UK covers versus her US covers, because I have opinions about some of them and I don't think I know all of them, and frankly I just like to test my knowledge a bit. So helpful geef Sarah, who is behind the camera, which is who I'm giggling at half the time, has put them all on a PowerPoint for me, so you're going to see them on screen and I am going to have a look at them. I'm going to criticize them and be rude about them or not, and then I personally think I prefer the US covers of T Kingfisher's books. I think they are more interesting from the ones that I've seen. However, you have done, is it 13? Yeah, we've got 13 slides, so we're not doing all of her books, but I think I'm going to prefer all the US ones. So we are going to keep a little tally to work out which ones I prefer, whether it's UK or whether it's US. And then I'll just be rude about the ones I don't like, and it's going to be a fun time and you get to see all the covers. The Snake Eater cover in particular is the one that took me by surprise and kind of spurred this video idea, because it is so different and so much better than the UK version. So we'll just jump into wherever you want to start. Oh, we're starting with Snake Eater. Yeah. Brilliant. It's like that was planned. Okay, Snake Eater. So 100% I prefer the one on the right, which is, I believe, the US version, because I have the one on the left, which is the UK version. And this is where guessing them is going to be quite easy for me, because I get sent a lot of them. I own a lot of them. Obviously living in the UK, I have the UK editions. I didn't realise that Snake Eater was another name for a roadrunner. Clearly Geef didn't either. Which is why to me it makes a lot more sense to have a roadrunner on the front cover, because the vibes of Snake Eater, for those of you who don't know, it's kind of a cozy horror. There's lots of themes of domestic abuse and death and community and found family. It is lovely, but it is also quite dark, and the roadrunner, or Snake Eater, plays a huge role in the book. The fact that there's just a snake on the Snake Eater one is really confusing, because snakes don't play a huge part. It is the Snake Eater that does, and there is no implication. I think we got some vultures on the UK one and some flowers. Like, yeah, skulls make sense for the themes there. I suppose some flora and fauna and like leaves. Maybe. They're in a desert. There's not a whole lot of plant stuff going on, but the US one with that's so much more like vicious and violent, and also the colors make more sense to me for a desert situation, particularly in the time zone that we are set for this book. It's just so much more interesting to me, and I think the UK one in particular is like a theme with UK covers. They're very into like flat 2D illustration style covers, and I am so sick of them. I just don't think they're very interesting, and I just don't think it's particularly imaginative when it comes to that book. So definitely prefer the one on the right, and I'm 90% sure that is the US cover. Clockwork Boys. Okay, so this is what I'm currently reading. Actually, I'm in the middle of this book, so you are going to hear some thoughts about that in the vlog. Here's the thing with the Clockwork Boys. I know that the one on the left is UK. The one on the right, I think, is the indie version, and therefore US. You're looking at me like you know and not going to tell me. I'm fairly fucking sure it is, because the one on the right is the one I remember seeing and the one I remember not being interested in. Partly because I thought this was a young adult series. It is not. I thought it was steampunk. It is not, as far as I'm aware. I'm only halfway through the book, and I thought it was something else as well, and just I was wrong on every count. It still might be steampunk. I haven't got to the main city that they head to. It's an adventure book. It's a Suicide Squad mission. Straight up, the one on the left is better than the one on the right. Like, yes, it's the 2D illustration style, but there's so much more going on. There is so much more like detail with the cogs and the wheels, and you've got all of our 4 main characters. And the one on the right just looks like someone did a really bad smiley face with lava, maybe? I don't really know what's going on there. I'm wondering if that would become more clear when I actually finish the book, but it's just so much duller. It's brown, it's boring. I want to know why it looks like a smiley face. Yeah, definitely prefer the one on the left. and you'll have to check out the vlog that is coming up next if you want to work out if I liked this book in the end and if I was right or not. Ah, would you look at that? It's the second book in the duology. Again, for the same reasons. That looks like a weird, like a sadder smiley face. Still looks like a pool of lava in some like D&D dungeon. The one on the left. It's just, I'm so intrigued as to why they picked that as the cover. I definitely prefer the one on the right. I still think that's the UK edition. Maybe I shouldn't look too hard in case I spoil myself. Yeah, more cogs. I just think it's more interesting than the one on the left. I want to know what the fuck is going on there. It's just so odd. It's almost like, it reminds me of like a video game level. It doesn't help that like the Clockwork Boys are the enemy in this book. There's an army of Clockwork Boys that are threatening this city, and she hasn't said what a Clockwork Boy is yet, and they need to work out what a Clockwork Boy is and how to destroy them, and I still don't know that, so maybe I will develop opinions once I've gotten to that point. But yeah, again, I prefer the one on the right, which I think is the UK cover. So far I'm proving myself wrong. It's my favourite! Okay, I can tell you straight up, we've got the US cover, the UK cover, and then the indie pub cover. This is my favourite thing that she's ever written. I read it first as an indie novella because it's about goblins, obviously, and was really pissed off I couldn't buy a physical copy because it was only available on ebook until, when did it come out? This year? January, I want to say? 2 weeks ago, as of filming this video, it came out, and I've published a review for the Fantasy Hive because I got sent an ARC of the UK edition, which is in the middle. Now, the US version on the left is so much more interesting. It actually gives us a better idea of the story because we're following a squad of goblins who get stuck on the wrong side of the Goblin War. And we follow Nesselka, who is clearly the one at the front, and her group of completely useless soldiers behind her. And that, yeah, why on earth would you put one green goblin hiding behind a shield? That gives no indication of the story. Also, the way that the goblins look so different on each of the covers is baffling to me, and I hugely prefer the one on the left and the one on the right. The one in the middle looks like someone asked AI to generate a goblin. I think that's what I don't like about it. It's too cartoony. And it's too, like, there's not enough of it on show. It's not the kind of goblin that I'm picturing. I'm picturing like small orc goblins. There's a whole rant here about goblin depiction in media, which is very much on brand for this channel, but now is not the time. Yeah, one on the left, US cover, 100%. Do I get double marks because I also prefer the US indie pub version? We've got another 3. Fuck. Okay. Right, well, I do know which is which. One on the left is UK, one in the middle is US, and then one on the right is also UK because Waterstones doesn't exist in the US. It is Barnes & Noble. Why they changed the cover so much baffles me. So when it comes to the accuracy of this story, we are following the daughter of a sorceress who manipulates her way into marrying this old man, and the old man might not even be that old, has a sister who is old, is a spinster, and the daughter of the sorceress and the spinster sister come together and try and defeat the sorceress. Basically is the premise. It's a retelling of The Goose Girl. The needle features in both the UK editions. I currently can't remember anything about needles in the story. I don't know where the trees come in. There aren't any particular trees. It's like a Regency romance situation. They go off into the country at one point. I don't remember there being a horse. No, I do remember there being a horse. That's a lie. There is a horse in the story. Okay, that makes sense. The lock could be metaphorical because the sorceress takes over her daughter's body sometimes just and makes her does whatever she wants, which is horrific. Which one do I prefer? I've never seen the one on the right before. I don't think I like the US version here because it just doesn't make any sense to me as a representation of the book. I think the giant like W exclusive banner is really putting me off. I think I do prefer the horse cover actually. I think I prefer the Waterstones exclusive cover. Yeah, I'll probably do a reread of that one, to be fair. There's flies on both. I don't remember what the flies are about or the keys. I need to reread this book. I read it really fast when it came out because we hadn't had a new T Kingfisher in a while, and I was really excited for new content, and I think I read it in a day. So I really struggled to remember what all the details were. Okay, Thornhedge. UK is on the left. American is on the right. This is kind of a retelling of Rapunzel with a bit of a twist because it's told from the point of view of the creature that is guarding her in the tower. I wish the one on the right had a different colour palette. If the colour palette from the UK version, so all the purples mixed with the design of the one on the right, I think I would like that combination. I think there's too much going on in the purple one. I don't like that the title cuts off the top of the tower, but I do like the Bloody Thorn with the castle in the distance. I think I'd... Can the answer for this one be I don't like either of them? I was also really pissed off when I bought this one because I didn't realise it was a novella when I pre-ordered it. So I think I paid about $9.99 for like a 120-page hardback book. I was really annoyed. Fuck it, I'm going to say the one on the right. I just wish it was darker. I think that's the US one.
The one on the right, begrudgingly?
Yeah, begrudgingly. House with Good Bones. Oh, have I seen the one in the middle before? I don't think I have. I've seen the one on the left and the one on the right. I know UK is on the left because that's the one I own, and US is on the right. What's the one in the middle? It looks like it's been signed by the author, whatever it is. Oh, I really like the one in the middle. My answer was never going to be the UK version for this cover. I really don't like the UK one. I don't think it's representative of the house at all. The book. The premise of the book being a woman goes home to her mother after a job was postponed or she lost it or something. So she has to go home to her mum for 6 months, and she finds her mum acting really strangely and like in a sort of conservative way that her mum never was. And there are flocks of vultures hanging around the house and potentially a haunting of some kind, and it's all really fucked up and the ending's really odd, but it is a good book. So I like the fact that there are vultures on the middle and the right hand one. If the middle one wasn't there, I think I'd say I like the right one more. I think I like the middle one more, and I don't know what that is. Well done, you found a cover I've never seen before and I don't know where it's from. Yeah, I really like those vultures. I think the right hand one might be more representative of the book, but I really like the cover in the middle. I mean, it's got to be the rabbit every time because it's... Yeah, so What Moves the Dead is a retelling of The Fall of the House of Usher. It is a novella, a horror novella that is very fungal, so fungus being on both of them makes sense. Yes, I suppose the hand is applicable to the story, but also it looks like a really weird hand. There's not enough detail on it. I don't like that. Whereas the bunny looks disgusting, and I like bunnies. And I just think that's so much creepier and fits the mood of the story so much better. So it's got to be the one on the right, which I'm 90% sure is the US cover. Okay, so second one in the trilogy. I really like the red and the horse on the one on the left, which is definitely the US cover. I think maybe if the UK one hadn't been quite so blue. I remember the monster in this. I cannot remember why a horse or butterflies or a skull is involved, so I can't speak to the applicability. Yeah, I definitely prefer the one on the left, the US cover. Yeah, I don't like that blue either. So one on the left is the UK cover, the one on the right is the US cover. And I think I prefer the US one again, just this whole series. I don't like the US cover as much as I like the other ones. I'd like it if there was more space filled at the bottom. Is it hooked on like roots or trees or something? Yeah. Yeah, I kind of wish there was more of it and less white or a different colour to white. So I don't like it as much, but I still prefer the US cover to the UK cover there. Both of them, the illustrations are as applicable as each other. I just don't like the illustrations on the UK covers. Hey, holy shit, I've never seen the one on the far right. Whoa, it's clearly the same picture as the one in the middle though. Is that? Fuck. So this is, Nettle and Bone was what got me into T Kingfisher, and I picked up the UK edition, which is the one on the left. I know the one in the middle is the US edition. I've got to assume that the one on the right is therefore the indie pub from the US that looks like it should be like a noughties kids film, like Nanny McPhee. Exactly, it's really giving Nanny McPhee, which it shouldn't. So here's the thing, I don't really like real people on the covers of books, but I do think the UK cover is really boring. I don't mind the colour scheme. I think it's got the right elements on there, like the chicken's on there, who is a main character. I think it'd be sad if the chicken wasn't on there. The fact that it's just the nettle cloak that's on the US one. I don't even like the fonts on the US one. The one on the right is absolutely out. That's too Nanny McPhee to be considered. It's the font. There's the font that's giving Nanny McPhee. You know what? That's got to be a UK cover. Definitely the UK cover. So we've totted it up and it looks like I was right. 7-4. I do prefer the US covers out of this batch at any rate. We did have to do some Googling with the middle House with Good Bones cover because I cannot work out why there are 3 covers. The best I could come up with is that it's the paperback release because it's on the Tor website. The pub date is listed as a year later than the original pub date of the UK one and the US one that I'm familiar with. So all I can imagine is that the paperback has a new cover in the US because Tor is based in the US, as far as I'm aware. If I'm wrong, correct me, because I'm baffled and I just don't understand why it's different or why they saved the really good cover till last. But yeah, okay, point proven. I definitely prefer the US covers of T Kingfisher books. However, that was only 11 of the 22 adult books that she's published. So if you want a part 2, let me know and I'll make Sarah do another PowerPoint. Do you have any strong opinions when it comes to T Kingfisher covers, like I did? Let me know in the comments. If you made it this far, leave me any kind of bird emoji for the vultures. I don't know if there is a vulture emoji. If there's a vulture emoji, I want a vulture. But if not, let's go with a bird of prey. Maybe an eagle. And yeah, I will see you in the next video, which will hopefully be a vlog of me finishing up her backlog and seeing if I can get through the whole lot without DNFing any of them. So, see you in the next video.